If you didn't see the things that you said you saw, why did you say you did?
What the actual is wrong with your brain?
And before you answer, just know there's footage. Like the whole thing was filmed.
Show me to me, please.
Last week, many people around the world stayed up late to watch the season 3 reunion of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, me included, and the result was disappointment. I was actually annoyed that I stayed up to watch it. I posted my video recap of the reunion, which also included the 2 episodes before it, soon after. And then a few days later, I saw this article. It turns out that Marciano is suing Demi and a producer of the show. This is regarding her claims of sexual assault and how the show handled those claims. In an episode of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 3, Demi alleged that Marciano had made advances towards her that were not reciprocated. And during that, she says that this happened.
There was not a kiss on the mouth. There was 2 grabs.
Right before this, they were texting back and forth, planning to tell the world that Jesse and Marciano had slept together. Demi even showed us that she was texting back and forth with Marciano during this. But then Jesse and Marciano took a lie detector test, and it backed up Jesse saying that they did not in fact sleep together. Demi was fighting with Jesse and the other members of Mom Talk, saying that she knew that Jesse had done this. Jesse had slept with Marciano, and she wouldn't back down. Shortly after was when she claimed that Marciano had sexually assaulted her at Vanderpump Villa. That seemed to be when things took a turn.
We did a lie detector test, and they just kissed. It's like, I obviously am gonna believe Jessie because she said that never happened.
She suddenly went from attacking Jesse with this gesture to ironically saying that the girls were now victim shaming her for not believing her claims. Her actions towards Marciano during Vanderpump Villa and after Vanderpump Villa were confusing. There were flirty texts of hers shown on the season 2 reunion that carried into season 3. There was also a scene where Demi, in her own words, said that Brett knew about what was going on with Marciano and felt bad enough for him to send him food.
I feel bad. Like one of the nights he was like, I didn't have time to go get food. And Brett was like, should we send him DoorDash? Like feeling bad for him.
Even that one made Whitney go, huh? Everyone seemed to be skeptical. Even the producers filming the show didn't seem to take Demi very seriously. When this came out, there was no sit down of her explaining her essay in her interview. They just kept her dressed in black, and she continued to be treated as the villain of the season. When Jen on a previous season had a mental health crisis, the film crew seemed to handle that pretty well. They backed off of filming, they stopped labeling her as a villain. That didn't happen with Demi. When season 3 came to an end, we really got no more answers. All we got was Mom Talk all meeting up, agreeing to hear Demi out. They collectively decided to just make peace with each other, and they seemed to just want to move on. But a lot of questions were definitely still left unanswered. But going back to making TikToks together was the priority. This was not the end of this though. And when the cast got back together for the season 3 reunion, I was really thinking that we were gonna get some sort of answers. But that's not what happened. Demi's return took over most of the reunion, and not in a good way. The reunion itself felt very disorganized. The flow was off. Like the host, Stassi. She was from Vanderpump Rules and I thought might be a good host for the show, but she sucked. She couldn't keep control of the conversations, and it felt so uncomfortable to bounce between serious conversations about abuse, rape, sexual assault, and then jumping back to ads for Dunkin' Donuts. I wonder how Dunkin' Donuts felt about their ad placements. This donut was brought to you by Mormon culture victims that don't drink coffee. I bet that's what's coming next. A Dunkin' Donut lawsuit. I also really didn't like that big focus on dad talk that no one asked for. Mom Talk always talks about smashing the patriarchy.
Powerful women trying to change the stigma of gender roles in the Mormon culture.
But then they needed to clear the stage for Dakota to talk about how many shirtless pictures he actually sent to Taylor's family friend.
Oh no, I only sent one more picture, so there's two pictures. I sent a picture of my shirt off.
My God, this had to be the worst reunion I've ever seen. I realized that during the reunion too, we heard more from Dad Talk than a lot of the actual Mom Talk members. And what makes this worse is that it was revealed that the reunion day of filming lasted like 13 hours. Yet all we saw of Whitney was like her minding her own business, Layla gushing over her new man, and all we heard of Miranda was her getting fake apologized to and her rolling her eyes at Chase. A lot seemed to be left out. which made the editing choices for the reunion seem even more like trash. Also, why did they only have 1 hour to cut this down to? This is a major show. Why not make it multiple parts? I mean, if 90 Day Fiancé can squeeze 3 to 5 parts out of a tell-all, I'm pretty sure Mormon Wives can do that too. And I would have been sat for every single part in this case. But back to Demi. I don't know what her goal was during this reunion. If it was to like make peace, make herself look better, she did the exact opposite. After a very dumb question from Stassi, you know, the one about Michaela's intimacy, if it had improved, 2 months postpartum? I still can't get over that question. We all remember Jessie reveals that she was at 19. I talked about this in my recap, but they jump from Michaela to Jessie to Connor, all victims having this deep conversation together, and then the camera pans to Demi, interjecting into Connor and Jessie's conversation about rape. That didn't sit well with us, the audience. I noticed then that we weren't learning anything new. We're just revisiting the same conversations that we did in the season 2 reunion. No new receipts, no new information, nothing. And at first I'm like, oh, there's a lawsuit, but this was filmed ahead of time, months before this lawsuit. And then I'm wondering, was Marciano invited, then uninvited? He was allowed on the show at one point. This felt like a really good time for Hulu to make a statement or acknowledge something about this. All I could find was Marciano saying, and I quote, "I can't say too much, but let's just say that everything was looked over and I was 1,000% cleared of it." Which to me sounds like, tune in to season 4 to see my innocence proved. So stay tuned to find out if I'm cleared for SA or not. He was nowhere to be found at the reunion. At one point I thought he was going to come out, but instead we got a surprise visit from Dakota. Woo. Reunions, tell-alls. This would be the perfect time to expose any information the show had to show us. Especially when Brett said this.
If you didn't see the things that you said you saw, why did you say you did?
What the actual is wrong with your brain?
Before you answer, just know there's footage. The whole thing was filmed.
Okay, it's all filmed. Then what were we waiting for? Why not clear things up with footage now? And now I'm thinking with the lawsuit involved, how the heck will they handle that in season 4? They had a chance here to show things, clear things up. I don't get it. Did Demi send Lisa Vanderpump a cease and desist? Things on this reunion just continued to go downhill, with Demi bringing up Macy's abuse in a very terrible way, and then saying that she will talk to Jen in a way she deserves to be talked to, when we heard Jordan say the exact same thing to Jessie earlier in the season. It was all just bad. Bad. And we ended the reunion with no answers. Just this nice little message at the end saying, if you or someone you know is in crisis, here's a link on Hulu. Wow, Hulu. Just going above and beyond here. I did download the lawsuit information if you're curious. I won't read the whole thing, but Marciano is suing Demi and the producer of the Mormon Wives show, Jeff Jenkins. He's saying that certain things have damaged his reputation. He claims in this that she was flirting and kissing him while filming Vanderpump Villa, and then shifted her story over time. He does say that they shared a consensual kiss and that she reframed the consensual interaction as sexual misconduct. And with the Mormon Wives producer, he says that they amplified the accusations for profit, built major storylines for the show around Demi's claims, and he says that all of her claims are false. This document has the phone conversations mentioned, including the ones with Demi's daughter. This is all the stuff we saw on the show. The only thing new, at least that I hadn't seen, I know they talked about it, was a text screenshot that they included. It was Demi telling Marciano to come out to Utah and do ketamine after Vanderpump Villa. This must have been when Brett sent him DoorDash. There's also one where she says, "Miss you, heart hands." They also mentioned the whole planning of Mormon Wives show drama and the cliffhangers. At one point, Demi, I guess, said, "What if we pretended that Dakota met up with me," as a cliffhanger for the show? And we made it seem like something was going on with Demi and Dakota. There's a lot in here, but it's mostly stuff we heard on the show. I will link it in the description if you want to read it. But the point is, Marciano is claiming defamation, some other things, business disparagement. He's going after Demi and the producer, Jeff Jenkins. I also found it interesting that the lawsuit was dated December 5th, right after the reunion premiered. I wonder if that had something to do with his contract. This whole situation goes way past drama on a show, but I find it so bizarre that Hulu is treating it like it's just drama for the show. There's a lawsuit This is real life, real people. Are they going to say, like, on the season 4 reunion, stay tuned for season 5 where we watch the court case unfold. Is Marciano innocent or guilty? It feels icky. So to end this, I want to address something from my last video. Some people were offended by me opening and pointing out sodas I was drinking while I was recording. The joke was supposed to be that these women drink an absurd amount of soda. I guess that joke didn't land. I did other things in my other Mormon Wives videos, like in the Whitney one, I wore a headband. All jokes here. So this is all I have to say about it. Cheers. This isn't even a soda. This is a sparkling water. Make sure to follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. And also, this is my QR code to my Snapchat. Make sure to follow my public profile. I will be posting often on there. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!